When people hear the word Silicon Valley, they immediately think of California, home to Apple, Google, Nvidia, Meta, and thousands of technology companies. But what if Africa's next innovation powerhouse is not built from scratch? What if it already exists, hidden inside one of the continent's oldest entrepreneurial cultures? Across southeastern Nigeria lies Igboland, a region long known for commerce, manufacturing, and one of the world's largest indigenous apprenticeship systems. Today, a new generation is replacing mechanical workshops with software engineering, electronics, robotics, artificial intelligence, fintech, and digital manufacturing. The question is no longer whether Igboland can innovate. The question is whether it can become Africa's Silicon Valley. This documentary explores the evidence. Technology is rarely born from computers alone. It grows from a culture of problem solving. For centuries, Igbo communities developed decentralized markets, trade routes, manufacturing skills, and business networks without relying on centralized kingdoms. Cities such as Onitsha, Aba, Nnewi, Oka, and Abakaliki became commercial hubs where competition rewarded creativity. This entrepreneurial mindset later evolved into what researchers describe as the Igbo Apprenticeship System, Igba Boi, an indigenous model that trains young people in business before helping many establish their own enterprises. Academic studies argue that this system has contributed significantly to entrepreneurship, MSSME growth, and wealth creation across southeastern Nigeria.
Catch them young. This is the aim of this gathering of young persons between the ages of 6 and 16 years. This program, tagged Build-A-Thon, is being put together by the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy in collaboration with the Imo State government, designed to expose Imo young population early to technological and digital skills through different platforms that will create solutions and address challenges in day-to-day life. According to the Imo State Commissioner for Digital Economy and E-Government, they have been trained in software and hardware skills, which includes coding, robotics, artificial intelligence, critical thinking skills, and problem-solving skills.
It's a program that is quite designed by the ministry and its partners like Raspberry Pi and Scratch, to expose these little kids to technology and how to leverage technology to solve everyday problems in our society. The kids, in the few months they've been here, they've learned how to become solution providers, innovators, and using technology, adopting technology, and working collaboratively to solve everyday problem. So that is why they are here today, to learn about science, technology, innovation, and mathematics.
While some parents laud government for coming up with this initiative, some of the pupils expressed joy over what they've been able to learn within the period.
I want to say a very big thank you to the government. I want to say a very big thank you to the governor, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodimma. This program is beautiful. I hope it will continue. I hope it will continue on holiday periods. Bringing up this will be wonderful again.
The state government says that the first phase of this program winds down. The second phase will begin during the next holiday season.
Imagine an accelerator where thousands of entrepreneurs graduate every year. No venture capital, no expensive MBA, no formal startup program. Instead, experienced business owners mentors apprentices for years before helping many launch independent businesses with capital or inventory. Researchers increasingly compare this model to modern startup incubations because it transfers skills, networks, trust, and startup resources across generations. If adapted to software engineering, AI, semiconductor assembly, and hardware manufacturing, this mentorship culture could become a unique competitive advantage. Unlike many African regions that focus mainly on services, Igboland already has an industrial foundation. Industrial cities like Aba are renowned for footwear, garments, leather products, and metal fabrication. Nnewi has become one of Nigeria's leading manufacturing centers, particularly for automotive parts, plastics, and industrial products. This matters because global technology hubs are not built on software alone. They combine engineering, manufacturing, logistics, and entrepreneurship. That combination already exists in part of southeastern Nigeria, even if it still requires modernization and better infrastructure. The younger generation of Igbo entrepreneurs is increasingly entering software development, Fintech, artificial intelligence, robotics, cloud computing, cybersecurity, e-commerce, and digital manufacturing. Rather than abandoning traditional commerce, many are digitizing it. Wholesale markets increasingly use online platforms, digital payment, logistics technology, and social commerce. The transition from trading physical goods to building digital products is already underway. Nigeria's broader startup ecosystem has demonstrated that local founders can build globally recognized technology companies despite infrastructure challenges. Technology hubs require talent. Fortunately, southeastern Nigeria hosts numerous universities and polytechnics, producing graduates in engineering, computer science, medicine, and applied sciences. As coding boot camps, online education, AI tools, and remote work become more accessible, young developers no longer need to relocate abroad to contribute to global projects. Instead, many now work remotely for international companies while living in Nigeria. This allows knowledge and income to circulate locally.
Issues concerning human capital development, digital education, and youth entrepreneurship are critical to the administration of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, a reason why he's making a big deal about the empowerment of thousands of youths in the One Youth, Two Skills program, as well as the appointment of 5,000 teachers, a majority of which are youths, earlier this month. In line with his vision to build capacity in the state, Governor Chukwuma Soludo joins the biggest federal constituency, Anocha, Njikoka, and Dunukofia, to celebrate the commencement of a massive human capital development in the area of ICT, with the commissioning of a multi-sectional development center in Enugu, an initiative players in the education sector believe will be a confidence booster for students. The idea to create this learning environment was born out of the challenges constituents faced in the area of skills development, with the hope that it will complement efforts of the state government. For the state government, this blends with its vision of a prosperous and livable homeland, as it also has commenced action on ICT development with the laying of fiber optic cables in strategic communities.
For ICT projects, we have signed contracts with 2 companies 2 weeks ago that will lay about 2,000 kilometers of fiber optic ducts all around the state for access to a high-speed internet at a far cheaper cost. That we have signed, and they are coming on board. Human capital is the greatest resource that Anambra has, and we must mine it. We must develop it for it to become productive here and exportable elsewhere.
And we must mine it, we must develop it.
A high point of this event includes the commissioning of the center and inspection of the various units, which include that of video editing, security gadget installation, fashion designing, food processing, and confectionery, among others.
One of Igboland's greatest strengths lies beyond Nigeria. Millions of Igbo professionals live across Europe, North America, Asia, and the Middle East. Many work in software engineering, medicine, finance, research, and advanced manufacturing. Diaspora networks often transfer skills, investment, mentorship, and international partnership back home. This mirrors the role overseas communities played in the rise of technology ecosystem in countries such as India and China. Becoming Africa's Silicon Valley is not guaranteed. Several obstacles remain. inconsistent electricity, poor transport infrastructure, limited venture capital, broadband gaps, policy uncertainty, brain drain. Successful innovation ecosystems depend not only on entrepreneurs, but also on stable infrastructure, supportive regulation, research institutions, and access to finance. Without this, talent alone may not be enough. Despite these challenges, several long-term trends favor the region: a youthful population, a strong entrepreneurial culture, expanding digital skills, growing startup communities, increasing internet access, rising interest in AI and software engineering. Most importantly, the culture rewards people who build businesses rather than simply seek employment. Their mindset is difficult to manufacture, and it already exists. Silicon Valley did not emerge overnight. It grew through decades of investment in universities, research, venture capital, government funding, skilled migration, and private enterprise. Igboland does not need to copy Silicon Valley exactly. Instead, it could develop its own model by combining indigenous apprenticeship, digital education, manufacturing, technology startup, diaspora investment, local innovation. This hybrid model would be uniquely African. Can Igboland become Africa's Silicon Valley? The evidence suggests it has many of the essential ingredients: a deeply rooted entrepreneurial culture, an apprenticeship system increasingly recognized by researchers as a powerful engine of venture creation and wealth transfer, manufacturing experience, growing pools of technical talent, a global diaspora with expertise and investment potential. But success will depend on sustained improvement in infrastructure, education, research, financing, and governance. The opportunity is real, but it is not inevitable.
Our National Universities Commission has recognized the Aba and Nnewi State University of ICT Science and Technology as the 207th university in Nigeria. Presenting the provisional license of the university to Governor Francis Iwefuru in Abuja, NUC Executive Secretary Professor Abdullahi Ribadu, however, noted that the university will only commence academic activities after the necessary resources verification. Professor Ribadu further urged the state government to ensure adequate budgetary provision for the smooth take-off of the new Ivory Tower. Later, Governor Iwefuru, in his remarks, commended the NUC for the recognition of the new state university, assuring adequate budgetary provisions by the state government. The Aba and Nnewi State University of ICT Science and Technology is recognized by the NUC as the 66th university in Nigeria.
The future of African technology may not belong to one city. It may belong to regions that already understand how to create entrepreneurs. For generations, Igboland has trained builders, traders, manufacturers, and business owners. The next generation may simply build softwares instead of shops, artificial intelligence instead of warehouses, robotics instead of only machinery, and globally competitive technology companies instead of local enterprises alone. Whether Igboland ultimately becomes Africa's Silicon Valley will depend on the choices made today by government, universities, investors, entrepreneurs, and communities. The foundation exists. The challenge now is transforming entrepreneurial energy into world-class technological innovation. From the bustling markets of Onitsha to the industrial workshops of Aba, from the manufacturing ingenuity of Nnewi to the classrooms, innovation hubs, and coding communities emerging across southeastern Nigeria, the story of Igboland is still being written. For generations, the region has produced entrepreneurs who build businesses with determination, mentorship, and resilience. Today, those same qualities are being applied to software, artificial intelligence, fintech, advanced manufacturing, and digital innovation. Whether Igboland ultimately becomes Africa's Silicon Valley is not a certainty. It will depend on sustained investment in education, reliable infrastructure, supportive public policies, access to capital and collaboration between governments, academia and private sector, and the diaspora. But if history has shown anything, it is that innovation often emerges where people are determined to solve problems, adapt to change, and create opportunities for the next generation. Perhaps the next globally influential African technology company will not emerge from a place the world already expects, but from a region that has quietly been cultivating entrepreneurs for decades. The future remains unwritten, and Igboland has the opportunity to help shape it. If you found this documentary informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more evidence-based documentaries exploring the economy, innovation, history, and development of southeastern Nigeria and Africa. What do you think? Can Igboland realistically become Africa's leading technology and innovation hub, or are there bigger challenges that must be overcome first? Share your perspective in the comments. We welcome respectful, fact-based discussion from viewers across Nigeria, Africa, and around the world. If you would like to support the channel, consider sharing this documentary with friends, students, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and anyone interested in Africa's future. Thank you for sharing, and we'll see you in the next documentary.
That it is not given to you to pack in your house or to place it in your car, but this is to enhance your business.
Information and communication technology equipment are distributed to beneficiaries to help them digitalize their businesses.
I deal on foodstuffs in big quantities. I sell fishing bags, stock fishing bags, onions and bags too. So these items given to me, the laptop, the phone, and the software really help me improve my business, take it to digital world instead of using a paperwork to run business, and it can also help me to do my advertisement online too.
Residents believe the state government is headed in the right direction with projects already initiated as they appeal to the Governor Otis administration to ensure all communities are impacted.
Technology is the only way to go. Of course, science seeks to know. Technology tends to implement the knowledge gained from science. And of course, when you know more, you have more problems. In our quest. So the only thing that can quench the test of the knowledge gained from science is technology. That is why technology is dynamic. Because the more you know, the more you apply, the more you create more problems, the more you seek for solution to those problems. So technology is dynamic, it's very liquid. And then it therefore means that we must be open to assessment of technology and technological processes. And of course, the governor of Aba State is as dynamic as technology. Yeah. And that is why he invented the financial engineering. It's also technology in finance. And this hub that we're talking about is expected not just for learning and research, it's also for wealth creation. Yeah. But when people get to know some of these things, they'll be able to apply the knowledge they have gained from these things, and then they will to improve our wealth and make money for themselves, thereby growing our economy too. So I think it's a good one. For us as an institution, we will partner with you people. RAD 5 visited us, 3MTT visited us, and all the rest of them, ethnocentric, and all the rest of them. I think those ones are into fashion. We gave them the best of conditions. Of course, we can talk about it. And then when we talked about issue of expansion or of extending their program, we said, okay, because we know this is where the world is heading to, and that is also in line with what His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti think about. So you are most welcome. Whatever is needed to improve on what we are doing, rest assured you get it from us here. And when we don't have it, of course, we know where to run to. We run to the governor, but rest assured we have it. So when we are telling you whatever you need